Okay, we're recording.
The time is now 6:06 and the Committee on Finance and Council as a whole is back in session. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stacy, could you take the roll call attendance, please?
Councilman Gary Donovan.
Gary Donovan, Councilman at Large, present.
Councilwoman Colleen O'Connor.
Colleen O'Connor, Council at Large here.
Councilwoman Bridget Hosky.
Councilwoman Bridget Hosky, 1st District, present.
Councilman William X. Conlon.
Councilman William X. Conlon, 2nd District, present.
Councilwoman Liz Johnston.
3rd District, present.
Councilman Mitch Galagnano.
Mitch Galagnano, 4th District, present.
Councilwoman Robin Hamilton.
Councilwoman Robin Hamilton, 5th District, present.
Councilman Peter Mazzaro.
Councilman Peter Massaro, 6th District, present.
Councilwoman Trinae McGee.
Trinae McGee, 7th District, present.
Councilwoman Crystal Finelli.
Councilwoman Crystal Finelli, 8th District, present.
Councilman Robert Bruno.
Councilman Robert Bruno, 9th District, present.
Councilman Barry Lee Cohen.
Councilman Barry Lee Cohen, 10th District, present.
And Chairman Ron Quagliani.
Councilman Ron Quagliani, Council at Large, present.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, we're back in session. Do we have any motions this evening? Councilwoman Johnston?
I would like to propose a motion for a Democratic caucus.
Do we have a second? Councilman Massaro?
Second by Councilman Swanson.
Do we take a roll call vote? Or do we have to vote on that? No? Okay. So we're going to caucus. We will be back. I can text you, Mayor Rossi, Colleen and Barry, and to let you know. Stacy? Yes, you too. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Gary, I'm going to.
Okay, thank you. So we are back in session at 8:26. Does anyone have any motions they would like to make? Chairman Quagliani?
Bear with me 1 second. Okay, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
All right, I would like to make the following motion. Account 19099056241 police pension study, add $25,000. Account 1900999056242 city parking study, add $25,000. Account number 355-4002-55670-50523 highway small equipment, $20,000. New account, IT outsourcing study, add $25,000. Account 190099990 56175. OPEB Trust, add $50,000. Account 122-00022, 52660. Software, add $107,600. Account 355-31001, 55220-50521. Police car existing leases, add $58,000. New account 150-00010, and then we'll leave it to Frank to add the rest. Under HR, artifact storage / military museum, add $26,000. New account 122-00022 under IT. IT outside consultant, add $73,000. New account under capital non-recurring, COVID memorial, add $10,000. New account 190-09990, and then the extension Frank could add. Fund balance adjustment, add $191,414 for a total of $611,014, and that's my motion.
Do I have a second? Councilman Bruno and Councilwoman Finelli. Is there discussion? Councilwoman Quagliani?
Thank you. I'd ask if I could ask the finance director, Frank, if he could summarize the conversation that he had with OPM, I believe yesterday. And then my second part of that would be if he could just confirm those numbers and make sure that the mill rate is consistent with what the mayor had recommended.
Okay, could I just ask the highway small equipment, what was the number for that?
$20,000.
20,000. I think that's the only one I missed. And let's see. And the capital the 10,000 for the COVID memorial, that's in addition to the 10,000 that's currently in the city council?
So the motion should be that we're moving the money from the city council 10,000 and transferring it to the capital non-recurring.
Okay, move from. Thank you. As far as the conversation I had, the MARB subcommittee is next Tuesday, and they were trying to finalize the agenda. So they had asked me for an update on where we were with the budget to see if they needed to put that on the agenda in order to have the discussion. So I called OPM, let them know that there was a special meeting scheduled for tonight with the expectation that the vote would be taken this evening. I did let them know that there were some cuts made to the budget, resulting in a decrease in the mill rate that was originally sent to them. The conversation I then got from them was that any budget sent to them with a reduction off of the 0.8 mils would not be moved out of the subcommittee, and it would be returned to the city council. So I sent Mike DeMassa an email on that today as a heads up, hoping to avoid the situation we had last year where we passed the budget, OPM wouldn't accept it, so it had to come back, and we had a lot of back and forth going on. So that's where we are at the moment.
So the floor, Madam Chair. Thank you. I would just like to mention, and I'll probably mention it 2 more times before the night is over, that we all recognize and we all hear from our residents about how difficult it is on a regular day with the tax mill rate in West Haven, and especially now with the pandemic that we're going through. And I personally feel that with the mandate that was given by OPM, that it would just be actually more risky to ignore that mandate and send a budget to them that clearly they had already told us that they wouldn't accept. I think that could result in a higher mill rate for the community. And I believe what this motion does is it does add money to the areas that I think the MARB has mentioned in the past. We made sure that we kept in the positions that they were interested in. We also almost doubled the unallocated contingency, and we added a significant amount of money to the fund balance adjustment and added money to the OPEB trust, all things that I know that MARB has talked about regularly. So I do believe that the budget, as this motion going forward, checks all the boxes. And my hope is that the MARB will agree with that and approve the budget should we approve this budget tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Does anyone else or have anything? Councilman Cohen?
I'd like to make a motion for a minority caucus.
You have a second?
I second it.
They don't need I mean, they could just call for minority caucus, so.
Okay, we'll be right back. I'll give you a call, Colleen. Okay, I'll just mute this. Thank you.
That's a first.
So can we be in, I call for a recess until they come back? So we'll. Okay, we're recording.
Does anyone have any questions or for discussion? Councilman Cohen?
Thank you. And thanks for letting us go like that. I just said there's a lot to absorb there, so I just wanted to make sure that we understood it. This is a question, I guess it may be for Frank or Ron. The $611,014, how much of that again is going into the general contingency or the rainy day fund?
It's all going in, $191,411 is being added to the general fund balance.
How much of that? I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's not the unidentified contingency, it's the fund balance adjustment line. So there's a line item to increase the balance of the general fund.
So it's to increase the balance of the general fund. And so what is our unidentified contingency, if you will, the rainy day? What's that now at?
As of right now, it's at 600,000.
And that 600,000 from the 370 was due to, just to give me a rundown, was the 100,000 from the street lights, and what were the other ones? Please?
It was 20,000 for the bank fees, 10,000 from the postage, 100,000 from the library, and 100,000 from the street lighting.
I got 230, and then okay,
230, right, plus 370, so we're at 6.
Okay, thank you. And the other, just to confirm, the other questions that I have, and I guess it's for Ron, if he could, the 25,000 for the police study, the 25,000 for the parking study. Those are things that we just did not complete this past year, so we're rebudgeting it for next year. I just want to make sure I understand that.
Yes, before we're able to complete, even award some of these, right? Some of them haven't gone out to bid yet. Some of them haven't been completed. So June 30th, we would lose that money, so we need to reallocate for next year.
I appreciate it. And the other one, Ron, because I was trying to write as fast as I could, so I had to absorb this. That's why we took the caucus. I want to make sure I had everything here. Is the 20,000 for the highway? Can you? I didn't hear what that was. It was 556705020 line.
It was the highway small equipment.
Okay, so we're basically just refunding that, or not refunding. We're adding money to that line in terms of that, and also, and again, I apologize for this. It was the 1500010, and we're going to have Frank do the extension on the HR. Could you explain what the HR was for? 26,000, I think.
You want me to do that, Barry? So yeah, the 26,000 is this is a yearly dollars that's given to the military museum. So it was an oversight in the capital non-recurring. It was never requested this year, so the mayor never recommended it. So it was an oversight. So we're correcting that in this motion.
Great. No, I appreciate that. And also, just to confirm, in the earlier, I should say the earlier budget, when we met on, what day is this? We met on Tuesday. We had a COVID memorial, I'll call it, already budgeted. So is this 10,000 additional to the COVID memorial? That was.
No, that moves it from the city council line item to the capital non-reoccurring. The thought is that obviously we're not through this awful pandemic, and it's maybe money that would have to continue for another year. So we don't want to lose that money at the end of the year.
Okay, so you're basically just changing the category, if you will. In terms of that. And again, $191,000 was the very last one.
Barry, we can't hear you. You're talking away from your mic.
Yeah, we lost that last part.
Okay, sorry. The last item, Ron, I believe that you mentioned was for $191,000 and plus. What was that for again?
That's for fund balance. So we put money earlier, as you asked Frank, into the unallocated contingency. That's a yearly line item. So we increased that from 370, where that was recommended, to 600,000. And then we also increased the fund balance adjustment with the rainy day fund, if you will. We increased that another 191,000+.
Well, yeah, but just to go back to Frank for a moment, Frank, the contingency fund that you said there was $600,000 for, that's the rainy day fund, correct? Frank?
Sorry, I'm talking on mute. Yes, that's the rainy day fund.
Okay, so the 191,000 that I just spoke to with Ron about, that's going into that fund, or is that a general fund?
No, it's a separate line. It's a different line. It's the general fund balance adjustment.
Could you tell me the difference between the general fund adjustment balance that I thought Ron just alluded to as rainy day versus what I was alluding to the rainy day, so I make sure that I understand what we're doing here?
Sure. The rainy day line, the unidentified contingency, is typically an amount that you would set aside in case there are things that come up during the year that were unanticipated. For example, in this year, we had to replace the Bailey School roof, cafeteria roof. So that was $64,000. Something like that would come from it. The other line item is specifically there to grow the general fund balance. So it's for lack of a better term, it's a planned surplus line item.
And in terms of good accounting practices and what we talked about, it's important to fund them both as fully as we can. But the contingency of the $600,000 is much better than the 370. That was anemic, if you will, because it gets us over there. Okay, that's what I wanted to know there. Okay, that's all my questions on Ron's motion right now. We have other things that we'd like to bring up, but for right now, I'm done. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I'm sorry about my volume.
Frank?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think I may have missed a line because I am coming up $11,000 short Was there additional, was that the prisoner van? Did I miss that? Because that's a real number. So I had, let's see, 25, 25, 20, 25, 107 for the software.
50,000 for the OPEB trust.
Got the OPEB.
107, 600, 58,000, 26,000,
20, 50.
73,
Yep.
73,000, 10,000, 191, 414.
73,000?
73,000 for the IT outside consultant.
Okay, 73. That gets me to, oops, that gets me to $10,000. I'm off. Bear with me just one second while I go back through this. So I've got, all right, so I have 25,000 for the pension study, 25 for the parking study, 20 for the highway small equipment, 58,000 for the current lease that's there for the PD vehicles, 25,000 for an IT study, 50,000 for an additional OPEB contribution, $107,600 for the software, 26,000 for the museum, the artifact storage, 73,000 for the IT consultant, and 191,414 for fund balance adjustment.
So Frank, you're right, because I initially had 10,000 off the top for the COVID memorial, not transferring it. So you're actually correct. It's 601,014.
Okay, let's see. Let me see what that does. I think we'll still be okay. Let me add the 73 here. 73. So the result of all those changes would be a $10,000 reduction overall from the initial budget, resulting in a 0.8 mil increase over the current year, over fiscal 20. So the 10,000 gets lost in the rounds.
And your professional opinion on that is?
I'm okay. I mean, I would be okay with that. We're still hitting the mill rate. If they really want to gripe over $10,000, I think it's, in my opinion, that would be petty.
Send them my number.
They've already.
Okay.
So.
Do we,
Roll call vote.
Okay, Stacy, can you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Donovan,
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hosky, Councilman Conlon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnston. Can't hear. Can't hear you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Councilman Galignano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hamilton,
Yes.
Councilman Massaro, Councilwoman McGee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Finelli,
Yes.
Councilman Bruno,
Yes.
Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
and Chairman Quagliani.
Yes.
Okay. 13 yes.
Thank you. Do we have any motions, any additional motions? Councilman Cohen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. If people can take a look at page 86, Human Resources, and I am looking at line item 15000010 53570, trees and shrubs. Per Beth Sabo that evening, she noted that we could, she really only, we can move $4,000 is not needed in that line, so that she could use the same 1,500. So I'd like to make a motion that we just take the $4,000 that she noted was not needed, and, for that particular purpose, for trees and shrubs, and that we please put it in the unrestricted contingency fund. Thank you.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Councilman Donovan? Do we have any discussion? Councilman Quagliani?
Yeah, I do remember Beth saying that, but I really have to, as we walk around the city of West Haven, the UI has done, really deforested our whole community. So if there's an opportunity to plant a few extra trees, I think that's a real good thing. So I do remember the commissioner saying that, and she's always one to come up to the table and offer something, but I really do believe that if we could help and plant a few extra trees, considering what's happened here over the last couple of years, I think that's a good thing.
Councilwoman Finelli?
I just want to say that I completely agree with the chairman on that. I think there's plenty of streets that you drive down and you can see where trees have been cut down and not replanted, and it just really doesn't look nice. And aside from that, there's other benefits to, energy efficiency and fresh air and slowing down traffic and all other things. So I would really like to keep that money in there and actually make an effort to plant some more trees around the city.
Councilman Donovan?
Yes, thank you. That is just for trees and shrubs, or can they be used for some kind of beautification? Say, like, we wanted to use that money. I know Hubbard Park, they're redoing it. Put, maybe plants there or something, or is it just shrubs and trees? Does anybody know that?
Frank, do you know that? I would be assuming no, the parks and stuff goes under parks.
Yeah, I don't know definitively what goes into that line.
Mayor Rossi, do you know?
I believe it's not for the parks, but there is trees, shrubs, and my 2 cents is I agree with what the other council people said. With all the destruction, I'll be honest with you, trees cost, they're not $20 or something. So if we want to put anything in, or shrubbery, it's expensive, and it just makes our, if we have this money and we can make our city look a little nicer. I mean, once again, Beth just wanted to point out that I guess she didn't ask for it. However, I'm sure she would spend it wisely and make sure that West Haven looks great, as she always does.
Councilman Cohen?
Madam Chair, after listening to some well-reasoned arguments, if Councilwoman O'Connor would like to withdraw her second, I would withdraw the motion.
Councilman Donovan withdraws his second.
Donovan, sorry. Then I withdraw the motion. Sorry.
I had you, Donovan. I knew it was you. All right, thank you. Do we have any other motions this evening? Councilman Cohen?
Thank you. This is kind of a question first for Frank, because Frank, I am going to be referring to pages 90 and 92, which is Park Rec. I just need a clarification on something, because I was comparing, Frank, the Park Rec in your comments versus the card deck that you originally gave us. And you had noted that there were, according to your card deck, that there were additional instructors and aides that was about 13,000. However, given my discussions with Colleen and others, it seems to be that, we're building for the full year, and there's needs to haves and nice to haves. And, maybe he doesn't have a big space. He wants to go to bigger spaces, not necessarily Noble School. And before I make this motion, I just want to understand that on page 92, just so I'm doing apples with apples before I make the motion, that you will see that there is other contractual services. And that was how it was referenced when we were talking to Mark about, well, we might need another janitor if we go to a bigger space and we're looking to do a bigger space. And honestly, I think that's just a nice to have. And given that we're not going to be at full speed, even though this is planned for a full year, I would like to make a motion, I think, to withdraw the $15,000.
Councilman Cohen, you have to make a motion before you can have all this discussion.
I'm asking for clarification.
But what we're doing here this evening is making motions towards the budget. Thank you.
Understood. Frank, can you give me clarification, please?
Nope. I don't. You're not understanding. You have to make a motion for there to be any discussion and Frank answer any questions.
Gotcha. My apologies. I make a motion to remove $15,000 and put it in the general contingency for account number 1520255352770, other contractual services, for $15,000.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Ms. Colleen, Councilwoman Colleen. Councilman O'Connor, is there any discussion? Councilwoman Finelli?
So what exactly is that we're cutting then? Because I mean, I know the Parks and Rec budget, there's already a lot that they asked for that we didn't grant them for programs. So, I mean, I would be hesitant to cut too much out of there because, I mean, if you notice special activity instructors, supervisors and instructors, I mean, we're already giving them about 15,000 less there than what they had asked for. So I just want to make sure that we're not going to cut something that's programs, for the community and for the kids.
If I can answer that, just from my understanding, if I may.
If you can give me 1 second, Councilman Cohen, I'll let you know. Thank you. So I don't, are you asking what line item it was? Maybe because you didn't hear him or?
Well, no, I see the line item. It's other contractual services, but it's under aquatic programs. So what
specifically is that?
Specifically, right.
Okay. Frank or Mayor Rossi, would you be able to answer what falls under that line item?
That is a new line item that was added by Mark Payne, and off the top of my head, I don't know what he's putting in there.
I agree with Frank. I don't know either.
Yeah, I think it was set aside for additional instructors, programs, etc.
I'm sorry, Councilwoman Finelli, I'm not.
No, that's okay. If no one knows, then they don't know. I just, like I said, I don't want to cut something that's a program they've put in place, but if it's a new item and no one knows, then I guess that's it. Thank you.
Councilman Cohen?
Yeah, and that's why I brought it up. The evening with Mark, I specifically asked that question because it was under aquatic programs and it seemed very odd to me. And he basically, the answer that he gave was, in case we want to go to a bigger space than we are now, there might be bigger rentals. It was it was kind of a if we do it program. And the reason, Councilwoman Finelli, that I asked it is because it was a new line item that was never there before for a significant number. So I didn't feel it was justified, at least at this time. So if we put it in the general contingency, if Parks and Rec wants to come back and ask for that money and give us more information, we as a council might be open to it. But for the purposes of this budget, I don't think it's worthy of approval. That's all. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? One of the concerns, thoughts that I have is that Park and Rec doesn't have their own space, and it is something that they have struggled with for a long time. Since the high school has been closed to them, when it rains, the camps or the kids are just trying to figure out spaces. I do also know that I'd like to see what they may do with the money, but I don't know that transferring everything into the contingency fund just to transfer it in there and say, well, they can come back for it when then we should just leave it. And if they don't, in my opinion, if they don't use it, then they don't use it. But to transfer it to the contingency fund to say he can come back and ask for it, I'm kind of unsure about that. Chairman Quagliani?
Thank you. I mean, I think this is a perfect example of, again, I hate to go and quote my friends at the MARB, but I think we have to think about what our programs are going to look like once they resume and what requirements and extra costs are going to be incurred by having those programs. So I would think that a normal park and rec program is going to look very differently, and we're going to have to spend extra money on cleaning and sanitizing and buying some things that we really need to do in order to comply with the governor's orders on social distancing and cleanliness and things like that. And I really want to make sure that we have some type of programs in the summer, because I mean, I don't have to talk about, what our youth has been through over the last, couple of months. So I think this is a good opportunity because they'll come back to us in order to get these programs off the ground. We're going to have to do X, Y, and Z. And we didn't really budget for that because we put the budget together prior, pre-COVID. So, I'd be apt to leave it where it is, me personally.
Does anyone else have anything open for discussion? Councilman Gagliano?
Well, just for sakes, if we put that money in contingency, the Park and Rec wouldn't be able to get it at least the fourth quarter. I'm with Chairman. Just leave it where it is. Thank you.
Any, Councilwoman Johnston?
Can we get a roll call vote?
Stacy, can you do a roll call vote?
Councilman Donovan?
No.
Councilwoman O'Connor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Hosky?
No.
Councilman Conlon?
No.
Councilwoman Johnston?
No.
Councilman Galignano?
No.
Councilwoman Hamilton?
No.
Councilman Massaro?
No.
Councilwoman McGee?
No.
Councilwoman Finelli?
No.
Councilman Bruno?
No.
Councilman Cohen?
Yes.
And Chairman Quagliani?
No.
2 yes.
Thank you. Do we have any other additional motions this evening? Councilman Cohen, please.
Yes, the other evening, the council passed an overtime contingency budget. And part of that overtime contingency budget was basically based on the mayor's proposal for overtime, where the concept was that we're going to take the full 100% of the contingency and put 80% within those line items for those departments and the other 20% in that special contingency budget. I believe that we have to, when you do that, it's really, maybe some people will come and not come back for that money or ask for it. But the bottom line is we're just basically changing places. And I would ask us to dig deep down, make the tough decision, let managers know that we're going to guarantee 90% overtime, that we're going to give you 80% overtime in your current departmental budgets. But instead of that other 20%, to just make it that 20%, if you will, which is now 100% of the overtime contingency for them, to just take that 50% or 10% and put the other 10% in general contingency, because they can always come back in the fourth quarter regardless. And when you basically, and what I had asked Frank last time is like, you know what, at least this way, if they don't use the money, they don't use the money. But if they do use, if they don't, it goes right to the general contingency, which is going to further beef up that critical line versus putting an overtime contingency. Either way, they have to come back in the fourth quarter. And if they know they have 90%, they will plan for 90%. So my motion is to take the overtime contingency with the exception of the police department overtime, the animal control overtime, and I did not see, but if there's EMS or fire department, any overtime that was in the overtime fund besides those 3 or 4, that they basically go from their 100% funded or the additional 20% to just the 10%. I know it's kind of basically, so what you're doing is you're doing 80, 10, 10 versus 80, 20. You're doing 80% in their line items, 10% in the overtime contingency versus the 20, and the other 10 goes in the general contingency. I think it's going to show great fiscal responsibility, and we are not at all stopping them from coming back in the fourth quarter regardless. That's my motion. Thank you.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Is there any discussion? Councilman Gagliano?
I'm really confused on his motion, so could you give me all the account numbers and the dollars we're talking about?
So if, just for clarification, Councilman Cohen, you have to say the motion and just the motion, and all the discussion has to happen within, once we get here. So you do have to go line for line and say the amounts that you want to come out. No, go ahead, please.
I make a motion for a minority caucus.
Okay.
Point of order.
Yes, yes.
So as the chair, you have, there would be a motion on the floor now. I mean, you have the right to approve that or not approve that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I think that if the purpose is to go through line item by line item and identify the dollars, maybe we could ask Councilman Cohen to park that one for now. And maybe he could bring that up at the special meeting, because there's a deliberation section in that. And if he has anything else he'd like to offer, or you could continue forward and have the minority caucus. Those are the options.
I don't mind waiting. I mean,
Okay. So that would be great. If you guys can work on that, that would be great. So do we need to pull back the motion, Councilwoman O'Connor? Ron, I think we would, right? Because if we do a
I'll take
roll,
back.
There's a second.
Take back my second. Yes, I'll take it back.
I'm gonna take back.
so I just want to remind everybody that prior, if you're going to make a motion, you have to go straight into the motion, and then leave any other, your support of it would have to come within discussion. Are there any additional motions that anyone would like to make on the floor? Councilman Massaro?
Yes, wait, I just want to clarify something. When Ronnie made his motion, Frank, you said there was $10,000 extra?
Yes.
Is there any way we could take 4,000 of that? I'd like to make a motion, take 4,000 of that and put it in Bet Sabo's account where the beach stickers are, because she was short on the beach stickers. Because we already took money from parks, they have beach stickers. We already took care of that. We took money away from that, but Beth needed more money for the beach stickers. I'd like to make a motion that we put $4,000 into that account.
You would need to, same as Councilman Cohen, Councilman Massaro, you will have to find the account number and give that in your motion.
Well, the 10 grand is not an account number.
But the account number is in the account number for the beach stickers. Are you saying you want, so let me do, are you looking to create a new account?
No, beach stickers in her account. She's got beach stickers in the HR account.
Right. So you have to find that account number, say the account number out and say you want to transfer.
All right, I'll be back.
Thank you. Is there any additional motions out on the floor? Stacy, you raised your hand. Go ahead, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
because is he going to withdraw his motion for the record?
Yes.
Thank you.
He did. I apologize. Councilman Cohen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. On page 32, account number 111-00010-5240, legal services.
Councilman Cohen, I'm
Can't
so,
hear me.
yes, I'm sorry. No,
Sorry,
it's
I'm
fine, it's
sorry.
fine.
Sorry, late, I'm sorry. Okay, 5243, I'm sorry, let me just start again. Page 32, account number 111-00010-5240, legal services, shows $200,000, which is a 30.72% increase. I'd like to decrease that by $35,000 to $165,000, which is in line with prior years. I'd also like to take a look at account number 111-00010-52480, other professional services. And I would like to make that for, goodness me, for $15,000 versus the $20,000 that's there. You can hear me, I hope.
Nope.
No, you can't. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. I just think that when you got to whatever the second part of your motion was, you went away.
Okay, the second part, you got the legal services. I'm sorry. You got the legal services, which I basically requesting a $35,000 decrease to $165,000. You got that one, correct? Okay. Then the second part of that, it's a three-part. So the second part of that is 111-00010-52480. Other professional services is currently at $20,000. I'd like to bring that down to $15,000, which is more than a 50% increase. And finally, I would like to take a look at 111-00010-52490, tax foreclosure expense. I'm requesting that it goes down to $25,000, which was the department request versus the $37,000. So in summary, I'm decreasing the first line for legal services, or I'm making a motion to decrease legal services by $35,000 to $165,000. I'm making the motion, which includes other professional services, to decrease it from $20,000 to $15,000. And finally, tax foreclosure, I'm just basically decreasing it back to the $25,000, which was requested, which is $10,000 more than the prior year. That's my motion. Thank you. My apologies.
No, it's fine, it's fine. It does, excuse me, do we have a second?
I second it.
By Councilwoman O'Connor. And do we have discussion?
Roll call.
Councilman, Mayor Rossi?
I would like to address a few of these because I've had long conversations with Lee. Number one, the legal services is outside legal services. Outside legal services, for those who don't know, is for the whole city, not just for Lee Tiernan's office. Just to remind everyone, we do have a lawsuit pending for the shooting that took place in the city of West Haven. So I can only hope that that's going to be enough money. I know it'll be a multi-year because usually lawsuits take a long time, but cutting that at this point in time, I believe that that's why Attorney Tiernan put it in. Foreclosure expense actually turns into money for us. And when Lee explained that, that's when I went and I was the one who, again, Lee has done a great job the past couple of years, but he needs some assistance. And his office can generate revenue as well. So when I know that somebody can generate revenue, that was my mindset with upping and leaving, his request. But especially, like I said, that other, the outside legal, that's for the whole city. So it's not just one or two departments. Anybody who needs legal, if there's any lawsuits throughout the city, it comes through that line item. That's the only legal service line item we have through this whole budget. So I just wanted to make council, because I know we have new council people, I just want to make them aware. Thank you.
Okay, Councilman Cohen says he'd like to withdraw his motion, but we would need the second to be withdrawn before he could do that.
I withdraw the second.
The motion's withdrawn, Stacy. Do we have any additional motions? Councilman Massaro?
Getting back to those bid stickers, you would have to create a new account, Frank, in the human resources because she does do the beach stickers now. So I'd like to put $4,000 into the human resources under a new account.
Does Councilman Massaro have a second? By Councilwoman Hamilton? Is there any, I saw the hand in the wave. Is there any discussion? Councilman Gagliano?
So I'm confused on this one too. Where's the money coming from?
$10,000 we got extra when we did all that transferring. We still have 10 grand extra. So I'm taking 4,000 of it and creating a new account in the human resources for the beach stickers.
And that's all you got to say about that?
And that's all I got to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any additional, anyone additionally want to discuss, or we have a roll call vote? Oh, Councilman Cohen?
Yeah, I just want one clarification, and two things. Number one, thank you, Mayor, for the clarification on those legal things, because it was being new, seeing those large increases, it just stymies me, and I appreciate that, and I respect the council's time for that. I really do. Thank you. The other thing, I just want a clarification from Chairman Quagliani on the special meeting for me to basically make that other motion on the overtime. How does that work again? I just want to make sure I want to be appropriate when I bring it up. Just if you can explain to me one more time. I'm sorry.
In our special meeting that follows this meeting, there's a agenda item for deliberations.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion regarding the motion we have on the floor?
Please.
Stacy?
Councilman Donovan,
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hosky,
Yes.
Councilman Conlon, Councilman Conlon,
I'm sorry, yes.
thank you. Councilwoman Johnston,
Yes.
Councilman Galignano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hamilton,
Yes.
Councilman Massaro,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGee, Councilwoman McGee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Finelli, Councilman Bruno,
Yes.
Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
thank you, and Chairman Quagliani.
Yes.
Okay, 13 yeses.
Do we have any motions on the floor? Anyone like to make a motion? Councilman Massaro.
Make a motion that, that we accept this budget the way it is.
So just a point of order. So if it would be a motion to adjourn the finance committee.
Make a motion to adjourn. Sorry.
Second.
By Councilman Conlon. Can we get a roll call vote? Or did you want to discuss? I'm sorry, Councilman Donovan, excuse me, did you want to discuss? Is that why you had your hand up? Okay. Stacy, can we get a vote?
Okay, we have Councilman Donovan,
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hosky,
Yes, please.
Councilman Conlon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnston,
Yes.
Councilman Galignano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hamilton,
Yes.
Councilman Massaro,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Finelli,
Yes. Yes.
Councilman Bruno,
Yes.
Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
and Chairman Quagliani.
Yes.
13 yes.
Your Committee on Finance and Council as a whole is now adjourned at 9:29.
Thank you very much, Chairwoman Hosky. I think you did a fantastic job your first time out the gate. So I want to thank you for all the work that you've shepherded in here these last several weeks. I think it was wonderful to see us all collaborating and discussing and working on behalf of the citizens of West Haven. I will enter into the special meeting at 9:40. I would suggest maybe if Frank could work with Barry to maybe have a little executive summary for his motion, that would suffice. So he's able to, so we're able to make that time frame. So thank you again, Councilwoman Hosky, and we stand in adjournment until 9:40. I will start the recording. All right, and welcome to our special meeting this evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. If I could ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilman Donovan,
Councilman Gary Donovan, Councilman at Large, present.
Councilwoman O'Connor,
Councilwoman Colleen O'Connor, Council at Large here.
Councilwoman Hosky,
Present.
Councilman Conlon,
Councilman William X. Conlon, Second District, present.
Councilwoman Johnston,
Councilwoman Liz Johnston, 3rd District, present.
Councilman Galignano,
Councilman Mitch Galignano, 4th District.
Councilwoman Hamilton,
Councilman Robin Hamilton, 5th District, present.
Massaro,
Councilman Peter Massaro, 6th District, present.
Councilwoman McGee,
Councilwoman McGee, 7th District, present.
Councilwoman Finelli,
Councilwoman Crystal Finelli, 8th District, present.
Councilman Bruno,
Councilman Robert Bruno, 9th District.
Councilman Cohen,
Councilman Cohen, 10th District, present.
Chairman Quagliani.
Councilman Ron Quagliani, Council at Large, present. Thank you, Stacy. If you could read the call of the special meeting into the record.
West Haven City Council Agenda Notice of Special Meeting Thursday, May 7th, 2020. Notice, a special meeting of the West Haven City Council will be held at 6:15 p.m. via electronic methods in accordance with Rule Number 30. You can please visit the City of West Haven YouTube channel to watch this meeting live. The purpose of this meeting is for the deliberations and actions on Mayor Nancy R. Rossi's recommended budget for fiscal year July 1, 2020 to June 30, 2021, and to set the mill rate thereon, including appropriations and laying of taxes with the City of West Haven Fire Department, Allentown.
Thank you, Stacy. Are there any deliberations that we would like to enter into this evening? Councilman Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to move the following overtime contingency funds from overtime contingency to the unrestricted contingency funds. And I will read off the account numbers now. Account number 1125001051,500. The original amount was go from $200 to $100, with the other 100 going to the unrestricted contingency. Account number 113001051,000 overtime. $500 reduced to $250, with the remaining $250 going to unrestricted contingency. Budget number 1190010 51,500 overtime. Amount of $200 reduced to $100, with the other 100 going to unrestricted contingency. Account number 1190013 51,500. Amount of amount of $1,200 reduced to $600, with $600 going to the unrestricted contingency. Account number 1210010 51,500. Overtime amount of $3,400 reduced to $1,700, with the remaining $700 going to unrestricted contingency. Budget number 1210010 51,500 overtime. Original amount of $3,400, reducing it to $1,700, with the remaining $1,700 going to unrestricted contingency. We are not touching, I'll forget that one, sorry. Budget number 1220022 51,500. Amount of $1,200 reduced to $600, with the other $600 going to unrestricted contingency. Account number 1220023 51,500. Amount of $20 going down to $10, with $10 in the unrestricted contingency. Budget number 1230010 51,500. Original amount of $600 going down to $300, with remaining $300 going to unrestricted contingency. Budget number 1230025 51,500. Original amount of $520 reduced to $260, with $260 going to the unrestricted contingency. Budget number 1240010 51,500 overtime. Original amount of $700 reduced to $350. The other $350 going to unrestricted contingency. Budget number 1310030 51,500. Original amount of untouched. Untouched. Sorry about that. That's not being touched. Budget number 132-02010, 51,500, 29 being untouched. I apologize for that. Okay. Those last two numbers are untouched. Budget number 1400010, 51,500, original amount of $1,000, being brought down to 500 with 500 in the unrestricted contingency. Budget number 1440472, 51,500, original amount of 10,340 being reduced to 5170 with 5170 being to the unrestricted contingency. Budget number 1460607, 51,500, original amount of 11,142, cutting that in half to 5571 with the other 5571 to unrestricted contingency. Budget number 1470410, 51,500, original amount of 45,000 being reduced to 22,500 with 22,500 to unrestricted contingency. Budget number 15000010, 51,500, original amount of 600 being cut to 300 with the other 300 to unrestricted contingency. Budget number 1520250, 51,500, original amount of $1,800 down to 900 with 900 going to the unrestricted contingency. And finally, budget number 1530010, 51,500, original amount of 400 going down to 200 with 200 to the unrestricted contingency. This basically gives a bottom line number going.
Hang on there, Councilman.
I'm sorry.
Councilman Cohen has made a motion to shift various line items as was read into the record pertaining to overtime. Is there a second? For the second time, is there a second?
Second it.
Seconded by Councilwoman O'Connor. Is there any discussion? Councilwoman Hosky.
Can we do a roll call vote?
Stacy, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Donovan,
I'm gonna abstain right now,
what are you doing?
abstaining.
Councilwoman O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hosky,
No.
Councilman Conlon,
No.
Councilwoman Johnston,
No.
Councilman Galignano,
No.
Councilwoman Hamilton,
No.
Councilman Massaro,
No.
Councilwoman McGee. Councilwoman McGee,
No.
Councilwoman Finelli,
No.
Councilman Bruno, Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
and Chairman Quagliani.
No.
2 yes, 1 abstention.
2 yes, 11 no, 1 abstention. Motion fails. Is there any other motions to be made this evening? Seeing none, deliberations are now closed. Next up is actions on Mayor Rossi's recommended operating budget for fiscal year July 1, 20 to June 30, 21, including appropriations and laying of taxes for the City of West Haven Fire Department, Allentown. The motion I will need is as follows. Resolve, the City Council of the City of West Haven accepts and approves the amended budget from the Finance Committee, Council as a whole for fiscal year July 1, 2020 to June 30, 2021 as attached, with total revenues of $165,780,459 and expenditures of $165,780,459. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Made.
So moved.
So moved.
There's a motion?
So moved.
Galignano, Massaro, Conlon, I heard several. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilwoman Finelli, Hosky, Johnston, Hamilton. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Donovan,
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hosky,
Yes.
Councilman Conlon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnston,
Yes.
Councilman Galignano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hamilton,
Yes.
Councilman Massaro,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Finelli,
Yes.
Councilman Bruno,
Yes.
Councilman Cohen, Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
and Chairman Quagliani.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, no, 0 nays. Motion carries unanimously. Item 7, adoption of the mill rate. Resolve the City Council of the City of West Haven accepts and sets the mill rate as amended for the City of West Haven at .80 mils, Allentown Fire Department at 14.02 mils, sewer use fees of $426, and a car tax mill rate of 37 mils. Is there a motion? By Councilwoman Hamilton, Bruno, Massaro, Donovan, Connor. Is there a second? Second by Councilwoman Finelli and Massaro, Bruno. Is there any discussion on that?
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead, Mayor.
You read in for the city mills, I thought 0.8 mils. It's got to be the total city mill rate. I could have misunderstood, but you got the fire tax correct. That's Frank and I, we were both, but you put 0.8. That's what the increase is. So you just got to change that one piece and we're good to go.
It should be 37.48, Mr. Chairman.
And that would be a .80 increase, correct?
That is correct.
So tell me what it is again, Frank?
37.48.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if we could get an amendment to that motion and make that change, the City of West Haven mill rate 37.48. Is there a motion to approve that?
Approved.
Point of order, though, doesn't have to be, the second have to be removed and then the original, or no?
We could just amend
We
it.
can amend it.
Okay.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Galignano, Councilman Hosky, Councilman Massaro, Councilman Donovan. Is there a second on the amendment?
Second.
Councilman Finelli, Johnston, O'Connor, Conlon. All right, so the, all in favor of the amendment signify by aye.
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 Okay, so the amendment now becomes the original motion. And I will read it again. Resolve the City of West Haven, City Council of the City of West Haven accepts and sets the mill rate as amended by the City of West Haven at 37.48 mils, Allentown Fire Department at 14.02 mils, sewer use fees at $426, and a car tax mill rate of 37 mils. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Galignano, Bruno, Massaro. Is there any discussion now on that motion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please, Stacy.
Councilman Donovan, Councilman Donovan,
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hosky,
Yes.
Councilman Conlon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnston,
Yes.
Councilman Galignano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hamilton,
Yes.
Councilman Massaro,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Finelli,
Yes.
Councilman Bruno,
Yes.
Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
and Chairman Quagliani.
Yes, 13 yeas, 0 nays, motion passes unanimously. Again, I would like to thank everyone, the mayor, Frank, the whole city contingent, my fellow council people for your hard work over the last several weeks. Special thanks to Councilwoman Hosky, who chaired the Finance Committee, and a shout out to our clerk, Stacy Ricchio. That being said, motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Motion.
Second.
Peace.
Second, Council. All right. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Madam Mayor.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, all.
Good night.